Right now, there's a very specific silence happening. Not loud, not dramatic, just strategic.
Congresswoman, can you tell us what your response is to the Oversight Committee launching an investigation into your net worth, you and your husband's net worth? They're claiming that it's risen rapidly. What's your response to what they're saying? Do you think they'll find anything in their investigation into your net worth? What's your response to what you've seen from ICE in Minneapolis? You said you're going to vote to not fund DHS, the whole department, or just ICE?
I'm just saying, where's all that big bad wolf energy? That, if you had something on me, you would have came and got me energy. Where all that at? Y'all notice something? No denials, no clarification, not even a we'll address it later. Just movement, walking them 2 feet. And the left will tell you this is normal. Or harassment or right-wing antics, right? Nothing to see here. But silence isn't neutral. It's time. And that timing starts to make sense when you zoom out. Just a little.
And a Fox News alert also in Minnesota. The convicted ringleader of one of the state's biggest fraud schemes is speaking to Fox News from behind bars. Now, she believes that the scam was no surprise to local Democratic leaders, and she's naming names. She spoke to Alexis McAdams. Hi, Alexis.
Hey, Dana. Yeah, so everywhere you look in the state of Minnesota, right, there seems to be another fraud scam. So this one involves Amy Bach. She's a Minnesota woman convicted of fraud for taking taxpayer money that was meant to feed hungry kids. But listen to this. Bach tells me the real issue here is the state of Minnesota, which she says kept giving scammers your taxpayer money even after they were flagged as fraudsters.
I have to believe that the governor's office and Keith Ellison's office were aware of this. They've said they were involved in helping the FBI. They've said they were made aware. But apparently I'm scary, so they couldn't do anything.
So Bach ran this nonprofit called Feeding Our Future. You might have heard of it. It was one of dozens convicted in this $250 million scam. You can see her mugshot there. Prosecutors say this group set up sham restaurants. They pretended they were making these meals. They got paid by the state for those meals, but they just pocketed the cash. Bach, who's looking at 30 years behind bars, tells me the state signed off on those businesses, not her.
It all went through a process. They were all approved. They were all paid by the state, yet all the fingers are being pointed at me.
And it's not just Bach. Whistleblowers told a congressional committee Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison there ignored warnings for years as millions of dollars and millions were stolen on their watch. Congress is investigating a long list of massive fraud schemes in the state. It's hard to keep up. Prosecutors say it's led to at least $9 billion in fraud, Dana, and counting. Congress also asking why the Attorney General there would meet with a group of Somali fraudsters, which were under FBI investigation in 2021. The group can be heard in an audio clip given to us by Bach's lawyer offering to donate to his campaign if he can help them get their funding flowing again. Ellison denies any wrongdoing here. He slammed Bach in a statement to Fox, calling her a liar, a manipulator, adding now she's on a media tour to deflect her guilt onto others instead of finally taking responsibility for this fraud scheme that she ran. So we reached out to Governor Walz too, Dana. He didn't get back to us. House Republicans say it's just getting started. They want to subpoena Walz and Ellison because they say they're responsible for ripping off American taxpayers.
Oh, man. I would love to see something actually come of it. This is what the left never wants you to focus on. Systems, not personalities. Meetings behind closed doors, conversations about money flow, political relationships that exist before scandals break. No one is shouting here. No one is being dramatic. And that's the point, because corruption doesn't look chaotic. It looks pretty organized. And once the systems are in place, y'all, leadership starts setting tone. Look at your boy Tim Walz and what he had to say.
Served on the China Commission in Congress, ironically enough, as co-chair with Marco Rubio. We used to bring in Chinese political prisoners, and we would ask them, when we speak up and call out your government, is it bad? And they said, well, in the short run, it's bad because they torture us. But if you don't speak up, they will torture us and forget about us. And idea is right now is we have to be speaking up. We have to call it out. You are doing everything, and our neighbors are doing everything. And I can't stress enough on this. We're winning it because we're doing it with Minnesota grit, Minnesota humor, Minnesota decency. Oftentimes talk about this, and I know people are discussing this a lot. I spent a lot of time with John Lewis on nonviolent resistance. The resistance matters. We're not telling people to be silent, but we're not telling people to go out and cause problems. We're going to cause good trouble. Circle of the China Community.
What the is even that? Right? Look, man, rhetoric like this is continuously setting the temperature. This is where the left tries to hide behind language. Good trouble, he says. Necessary disruption, mostly peaceful. These are the soft words that they use to excuse the hard consequences. Notice something, though. The people encouraging trouble are never the ones dealing with the fallout. Ever. They speak, others act, and accountability disappears. Once the temperature rises, the story starts coming out pretty fast.
And I am proud. I am proud to say that I've survived ICE. I'm proud to say that I stood up for what is right. And many people are saying, including my family and friends, that I will go down in history. And I will carry this on my shoulders. Here I am, speaking in front of everyone, and there's cameras recording me. Hi, everyone who's watching me right now. I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really see, like, you know, it's you know, people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean. So what I'm trying to say is people might be confused by me being Somali, but then when they hear my voice, they say, this girl is very American. There's something American about her. So like my family says, you're so American. You're so American. There's something American about you. But then when other people see me, they're like, there's something Somali about you. You're really Somali, you know? So that's what it's like. You know, people always trying to assume what you are, but they know you're both. So they cannot separate the two. They just want to say, oh, you're this, you're that. But that's what it is. It's to be both. So, yeah, so I got kidnapped by ICE.
You know, she's young, all right? What the did I just watch? She survived ICE, she says. Now, here's what emotion attempts to take over. Powerful story, strong language, very few verifiable details. And the left immediately says, oh, you know, don't question it. That's cruel. But accountability doesn't fear questions. Only narratives do. Always remember that, y'all. And this is important because, you know, how a story is told often matters more than whether it's true in today's society. And just point that out. Just saying. Now, watch what happens when the same formats get reflected back.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sad. My name is T. Omar, and I was arrested 3 days ago, and
I'm not about to lose my spot in heaven for you, Terrence.
ICE, they brutalized me, and they hit me in the head right there, in the car, hit in the head. Oh no. are so sad. And then they called me a stupid nigger, and they drove me around, and then they arrested me. They drove me around, and then in the car, they said, you are under arrest for being a nigger, and I did not know what I did wrong. And then they drove me around for hours. They shackled me. Hold on. My big tooth is falling. And then they put me in a jail cell with shackles on my legs. And then all of a sudden, they just let me go. And they say no why. They tell me no reason. They just let me go. And then they hit me in the head again. And I just don't know why.
Oh my God. I had to take myself off the screen. Look, this is obviously satire right here, you know, but it lands because you just saw the original version, right? Up there, just bananas and rice. I wanted him to say bananas and rice so bad. You know, same structure, same emotional cues, same demand for belief without verification. And suddenly people are uncomfortable. Why? Because, you know, parody exposes how manufactured outrage actually works. This is not mocking immigrants. It's actually quite literally mocking the whole little playbook. That's what that just did. And once the playbook works, you know, it spreads.
Say it once, say it twice. We will not put up with ice. Say it once, say it twice. We will not put up with ice. Say it once, say it twice. We will not put up with. We will not put up with ice. Say it once, say it twice. We will not put up with ice.
Lies.
No ice. Legalization for all. No ice. No wall. Legalization for all. No ice. No wall. Legalization for all.
Woo.
No ice. No wall.
Yeah.
Legalization for all.
Chicka.
No ice. No wall.
Hey.
Legalization for all.
I said.
We can see it with our eyes.
Ice murder.
Ice murder.
Ice lies.
Ice lies.
We can see it with our eyes.
We can see it with our eyes.
Ice murder.
Ice murder.
Ice lies.
Ice lies.
We can see it with our eyes.
Look, they over there. They coming up with the slogans at the event, at the time of the event. Wait, y'all supposed to? What? Y'all can't come here freestyling.
Slave Patrol has got to go. Hey, ho, ho. The Slave Patrol has got to go. Hey, ho, ho. The Slave Patrol has got to go. Hey, ho, ho. The Slave Patrol has got to go. Hey, ho, ho.
I wish y'all could FFAO.
Repeat after me. We must repair. We must repair. We won't repeat.
My dumb butt said FF.
Repeat. We won't repeat. Ice and MAGA. Ice and MAGA. Retreat.
Retreat, retreat.
We must repair.
We must repair.
We won't repeat.
We won't repeat.
Ice and MAGA.
Ice and MAGA.
Retreat.
Retreat, retreat.
We won't repair.
We won't repair.
We won't repeat.
We won't repeat.
Ice and MAGA.
Ice and MAGA.
Retreat.
Retreat, retreat.
Let's go.
Yeah, they're not listening to that one in their playlist today. Just letting you know. That one is not going to move the needle. Now, this is how narratives leaves facts behind. This is college walkout. Solidarity with Minneapolis means attack. It's their whole little campaign. But yeah, this the narratives leave the facts behind, you know, from a claim to a chant to a movement, no investigation, no patience, just momentum. And the left calls this justice. But justice doesn't run on slogans, y'all. It always and only runs on truth. Which brings us back to kind of what it's all started, right?
Dude, Jake Lang, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Alex. Glory to God, the highest creator, my Father in heaven, and my absolute Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, from delivering me from the mouths of those lions that were trying to tear me limb from limb and kill me because I am a white Christian American man, and I am proud of being a white Christian American man. And these people these rabid liberal leftists and these absolute lunatic illegal immigrant invaders, all of them swarmed on me in the hundreds. I mean, there was literally thousands of people attacking me. And I walked out of there on my own 2 feet because God's hand is on me and God's hand is on our country, Alex. And I will never forsake my calling to be an American patriot and stand up against any evil, even if I'm outnumbered 5,000 to 1.
Who's the black fella that I saw really trying to protect you and helping you get out of there? That guy's a hero too.
Yeah, there were some great good Samaritans that you literally just saw the humanity of the situation, seeing that I was about to be lynched, and they put their lives on the line, and I'm so grateful for them. Many of them were black, some of them were even Muslim, and it shows, obviously this underlying human compassion, because I believe at the end of the day, people know that my message is not one of hate, that I have love for my country, I have love for Europe, I have love for the white countries of the world, and I don't want to see them disappear. And I would be the first one out there. Let's say if Jamaica was being replaced with Koreans or something, there were hundreds of thousands and millions of Koreans moving into Jamaica and changing the culture, the religion, the cuisine, the style of dress, everything that makes a culture and a people of people. I'd be out there with the Jamaicans, standing with them and saying, get out of here,
the left openly saying get rid of white people, so that makes it all fair game. And I love everybody,
Yeah,
but I've seen your message. I mean, I get your point there. Let me ask you this. I'm not criticizing you, but Stuart Rhodes brought it up earlier. What were you thinking only going in there with 5 or 6 security or maybe less? I mean, you knew they wanted to kill you. No one say you don't have courage, but man, do you have a death wish? Are you evil Knievel?
No, I had maybe about 100 RSVPs online. People were DMing me in my inbox. They were going to be there. The crowd got separated. We were overwhelmed, and I'm independent. I came out of prison a year ago, just scraping by. I can't afford to hire security. My Give Send Go is at like 10 grand right now for being able to get security in the future. But security costs just as well as I do, Alex. That's like, a single day, a couple hours with some of these guys there. And, let's talk.
Well, why did this clip matter, y'all? It says we have just filed 147 million federal dollar lawsuit on Minneapolis Police Department. Mayor Jacob Frey, stand down order. Tim Walz and Ilhan allowed to mob and lynch a white Christian American outside City Hall. Police just watch. Now, Ilhan obviously wasn't there, but we know the rhetoric from Tim Walz and Ilhan is what led to this. Now our name is back, not as a headline, but as a part of a larger picture. Silence, systems, rhetoric, narratives, consequences. It's not random, y'all. I'm not telling you, what happens next. I'm not telling you why right now feels different either. When politicians like Ilhan and your boy Walsh, they stop answering, when stories start to replace all the facts, and when accountability just becomes so inconvenient, the timing it will tell you everything. And that's why this is the worst time to be Ilhan Omar. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment, timing tells the truth. That's how I know who actually watched. Other than that, y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.